Oh, I bet you guys have seen this video. Recently, Abba's ex-girlfriend telling a story about how a breakup happened. Let's watch it. It has been going viral on YouTube. This is what it's all about.
We were together for 5 months and involved with each other for about 8 months total, but 5 months of that was a serious, committed relationship. I know when someone thinks 5 months, they think what can really happen in 5 months, but I think most would agree the first 5 months of a relationship can feel very intense and be filled with a lot of love. And that means you can feel the opposite of that intensity if things are not aligning or if things are not compatible. I'm going to be talking about a pregnancy in which Abba ultimately walked away from. And I'm going to be talking about the difficulties and the emotionally harmful interactions I've had with Abba. I want to acknowledge something up front, and that is I know exactly who I'm speaking about. I know exactly who Abba is. Abba is articulate. He is persuasive and he is calculated. Abba is the king of receipts. And
Okay.
anyone who really knows Abba would not willingly put themselves in the position I'm putting myself in right now, unless their experience was significant enough to speak on. I'm not here to cause spectacle. This is all informational, and I'll just leave it up for interpretation. I met Abba July of 2025, last year, and it was really fun, and it was really interesting, and it was honestly full of love. 4 months into the relationship, I start to see incompatibilities and inconsistencies that made me question the relationship and started to make me feel doubt. Ironically, as I started to feel those doubts, I found out I was pregnant.
Okay.
I was very nervous, but I knew I wanted to keep the child. I told Abba about the pregnancy, and he was actually very supportive. He was very excited. He always
How does this make sense? Well, at the beginning of the video, you claimed that Abba walked away from the pregnancy. But right now, you said that when you were pregnant, he was in support. Because this is an inconsistency in what you're saying. I know this is the beginning of the story, but something's not adding up right now. Once I've seen Abba made a video tackling this issue. Now go about it, but what you're saying right now is not supporting the point you made earlier, claiming that he walked away from the pregnancy. Because the way you framed it is like he manipulated you, used you, and left you. So let's see this point all about. He's very supportive, right? He's very excited. Okay, let's see.
talked about how much he wanted children. And he said
Okay,
he was sure about the pregnancy, and he said that he was always very sure about me.
all right.
I, however, did not feel sure about Abba.
Okay.
Like I had mentioned, I started to see some core fundamental differences with our values, our lifestyle, and especially how Abba handled things emotionally and how he handled things communicatively.
See, first of all, there's nothing wrong. This relationship is 5 months. You guys are not that in deep. You can claim to be in love or whatever, but the fact that you are saying that you are seeing what your cover does not align. So why do you want to keep a pregnancy of someone the cover does not align with? But at the same time, what do you say when people are in love? They don't know what to do. They're crazy. And I say, oh, everyone is in love are idiots. They're fools. They don't know what's happening. They believe their love is what Kong. But the same way you can see you feel that you have what your values are not right. You don't like the way he handled it emotionally from your side of the story, from what you're claiming. But either way, let's see. Well, I don't want to rush into judgment. I want to dissect this thing very well. Let's see what you have to say. But my question, if you see that, why do you want to keep the pregnancy? That is my that is my point. Because you're saying that you wanted to keep the pregnancy, why as the father of your child, you don't like his values? Why? Take it out, but let's see what you have to tell me.
As time goes on, during the pregnancy, I feel even more anxious and more nervous. And I think I start to confuse my anxiousness with being with Abba or moving forward with Abba with my confusion and anxiousness with the pregnancy and if I wanted to continue the pregnancy or not. And terminating the pregnancy was never in the question. It was something I never wanted to do. But as time kept going in the relationship, I still felt like it was pretty rocky. And I talked to Abba and I said, the maybe an abortion is something we should do, even if that isn't what I wanted at all. And Abba was not happy with it. Abba was quite disappointed, and he tried to support me as tried to support the decision as much as he could.
It doesn't make sense, bro. You are telling me that pregnancy was not an option because of wanted to keep the child, but as I said, homos and shit. You decided what to take out the pregnancy, and to your side, he was disappointed though, but he was supporting you for for your decision. What can he do? It is your body, your choice. No matter what you say, at the end of the day, he has no power or right to force you to keep the child. First of all, you're the one having the baby. You can decide what to have it or abort it. But my take on this thing right now is that there's something wrong with you. Or there's no pregnancy hormones or anything. Because first of all, as you were claiming, whether from your religious point of view or your religious style of view, your culture, it's like because you made how you stated your point is like you made the finale that you will not have an abortion. But from what you are claiming, Abba was not the one who pushed you to have the abortion. You came up with the idea. Although he was even disappointed, he still decided to support you on your claim. So how did he walk away from the pregnancy? This doesn't make sense. To me, it's like you're trying to chase clout. That's what I'm feeling right now.
But you can tell that he was struggling with it a little bit.
Wait, oh,
We make our first appointment for the abortion, and Abba visits me to be there for me, and we don't go through with it that day. And when he leaves, I make another appointment, and I cancel that one. And I think in total, I canceled 3 abortion appointments. And I think, maybe I should give it more time and see if my feelings change. And so I set an appointment for after the trip I had planned to Montreal to visit Abba. I visit Abba in Montreal and we get into our biggest fight. And this was a real turning point for me. And I know it's hard to imagine Abba upset, but he does get there.
now what do you mean it's hard to imagine after they are said? Isn't he a human being? Because now I feel like most people watching YouTubers nowadays, like you see them as if they're not human beings. They are human beings. They have life, and this is a life story. No matter what perspective you feel from them, no matter how they speak to you, no matter how articulate they are to you, no matter how they give the information, no matter how you love them or you like them, at the end of the day, they're just human beings. They can get upset, they can make mistakes. It goes both ways. Or I just see what some of you find it hard. Like when you find out that your YouTuber is in a scandal, your favorite YouTuber that do something that you can't imagine. I don't know why some of you create some narrative in your head believing that they are perfect. No, they're not perfect. You get annoyed. And from what this lady say, I feel there's something wrong with you. You can't. You made an appointment 3 times for abortion and you cancel 3 of them. Like even as about your baby daddy, normally at the end of the day, you will not let you what to take off the pregnancy, but it doesn't make sense. How am I supposed to keep the child? Or you decided up to you that you want to take it out. You make 3 separate what appointment. You cancel all of them. It's like you're trying to put a guy on an emotional roller coaster. It doesn't make sense to me because normally, so to me now, I feel like you were trying to what was from what you are claiming. He was not supportive of the pregnancy. To me, it's like you're trying to manipulate him with the pregnancy. That's what I'm saying. And I said I feel like you are mentally unstable. Some people will tell me that this what it is homo, it's pregnancy homo, but I have seen people pregnant. But this is crazy, baby girl. This is crazy. By the way, how did the fight go?
And not only does he get there, he goes past the point of the threshold of where anger should stop. Abba resorts
Yeah,
to
he's
name calling
human.
and degrading language and
He's not
resorts to
perfect.
ridicule and mocking, and it it does teeter on the emotionally and verbal abusive side, and I hate to put a label on it like that, but that is truly what it felt like. And don't take my word for it. I will be posting examples in this video
Okay.
or the next video. After that trip, um, I realized that I always wanted to keep the child, and it was the relationship that I that needed to be looked at. And so I cancel that last appointment, and I call Abba, and I tell him, I'm so sorry.
Nah, nah, nah. You see, this really have a mental. See, this mental instability. There's no pregnancy hormones. So after you have looked at everything, does it make sense to you? The father of your child, the one that have impregnated you, you want to keep his child. Where the relationship at home? It's not going to work out. Are you okay? So you want to have a what? As you call him, you want to have a crazy baby daddy. Does that make sense to you? No, is it because of transport or what? Yes, I want to throw names around, but you cancel for abortion. So to me right now, you are mental unstable. You don't know what you want. You are confused, and when you are confused, it is best to take out the child out of the picture. And you want to what? You want to squash the relationship between you and the father. So what will happen? Like I believe there's some women out there that could decide to have a child of a crazy ass man, believing that you want to have a kid. It doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, you guys will still meet because that is his kid, that is his child. You have to work something out. I don't like you. You don't like someone. Why do you want to have that child, bro? Is it because of money? Is it because of that? See, as you said, you don't like to use labels. I actually don't want to use. I don't want to use the pretense that you're doing all this thing because of child support. Because from what I'm saying, you can say it's hormones. You can start your mental unstable. We can say you are crazy. We can say you are insane. But I don't want to put labels on it. But you are giving me a lot of points, a lot of a lot of signs that you're not in the right mental space. And when you're not in the right mental space, it is paramount that you don't keep the child. Because how will you keep a child to a man that you think that you don't have anything with him, but you want to have his child? What to create deeper connection? Does that make sense? You guys in the comment section, let me know.
For the back and forth, but it was never in my values to terminate the pregnancy. I think I'm
Values, make
anxious about
phone
this,
appointment.
and I think it's better if we co parent. And I
Okay.
was thinking about the kind of environment I would like to raise my child in and everything like that. So Abba's really upset, and we hang up, and he tells me to get the abortion. And he tells me
Of course. You see, it's like you went for a phone abortion appointment. You have pushed the guy to a point of no return to me. Like, I was in support of it. He was in support of it. But what? You went back and forth, telling him that you go for the first one, you cancelled it. You went for the second one, the third one, the fourth one. And out of nowhere, you want to keep the child again. You see, I feel like he has patience. To me, that's really fucked up, bro. Offer the third one. Get rid of the child. Get rid of it. And let us both be free. But I feel like you're now using the child as an emotional blackmail to the guy because I feel like the guy wanted the child though. Does it make sense to you? You are playing with someone's emotions left, right, and center. Oh,
I don't have anything to say, just get the abortion, and I'll wait for the abortion updates. And I said,
okay.
I will consider keeping you. Oh, sorry, I say, I will keep you updated. I will consider what you said over the phone about having the abortion. My values were to ultimately not get it. And he said, just so we're clear, if you change your mind for the 10th time, I will not be involved. And then I kind of snap back a little bit and I'm like, then don't be. And then he blocks me. And he blocks me for an entire day. And
No, no. Here's some crazy text, bro. This is some crazy text. Like, you see, he's making a point that you have been going back and forth with changing your mind. You are telling him that he said he doesn't want anything to do with the child no more. Just take it off again. You should keep it updated after you're done with the abortion. You're getting mad. Then what do? You see the fact that he had the patience to what to go with you all this while shows that he was in support of the child. But at the same time, it shows that you never cared about his feelings. It is all about you. And which is true. It is your body, your choice. But when you have I said you have caused a threshold of someone's patience, there's nothing to do. You said get rid of it. You snap back, but what? He blocked you. But what did you do again? Let me know, baby girl. Let me
I'm
know.
so sorry for the construction in the background. I have to make sure to speak loud. Sorry about that. I said, hey, I need to talk to you about the baby. I'm still blocked. And I tell my cousin to message him to unblock
Okay.
me. And he says, hey, I unblocked you for a second to say, stop contacting me. Regardless of what you choose, I will never decide to keep in contact with you. You're not my responsibility. Now don't reach out to me again. And then if you guys are reading this, I'll mention what's going on here in a minute. But I said, why? I said, why did you block me after you wanted updates? He says, because I don't want updates. Sorry I wasn't clear, so I'll be clear. I don't want to ever hear from you again. He says, keep it or don't. I don't need updates. If you do this solo, good luck. If you don't keep it, great. And then he blocks me again. And I am so exhausted at this point on how Abba handles conflict and how he resorts to shutting down and avoidance and stonewalling.
So first of all, the shutting down, the avoidance, the stone wall. You see, I feel like you are in part the creation of that because you laid him all back and forth. I want to keep it. I want to go for I want to go for an abortion up and down. He got fed up. But from what he's saying that he said whether you keep it or not, it has nothing to do with you. That is a lie though. If you have kept the pregnancy, you have no choice but what to be the father. That one you have no choice. But from what you are seeing, he gave up. He fucking gave up, bro. It doesn't want anything to do with you, anything to do with the baby. And you can say nothing too. At the end of the day, if you had the child, what you can do is take them for child support. But here's my case. Why are you trying so hard to be with a man that you see you have all this downfall? You have all these what disadvantages, all these bad traits coming from you. You said that you are having what? You're having thoughts of what canceling a relationship because your core values do not what align. So here's my question. Why go to all the stress? Like why do you want? Well, I'm feeling that at the end of the day, you went for the abortion, but why were you trying to stress him? If you never wanted to have a child because you said your core values your, will make you have an abortion, which I feel like it was lies, bro. You made four appointments. Four appointments and cancelled them. And from what I've seen, I've read, you eventually got the abortion. So why was there excess? Why was excess of all these patents?
And especially at a time that is very critical and sensitive, I just want to show you this. So this kind of will show you an example of Abba's volatility a little bit. I think within the span of 4 months of our relationship, I think I was blocked like 100 times. And I typed in the word block in my search history for my messages. And the first time he blocked me was in August 7th, the beginning of August. And I think we met in the middle of July. And this was just 3 weeks after we met. And so then he blocks me again at the end of August, and then a few times in September, and then October and November and December. And anytime that you see the word blocked on my end, I'm just telling him like, hey, can you unblock me? You still have me blocked from Instagram or something. And that doesn't stop there. I
Later, you can see that the guy don't speak to you again. He doesn't want nothing to do with you. He have blocked you. But we can see the homos were what pushing you, wanting to reach out to the father of a child. But come on, you know in part you caused this shit. He has given up. And what? Whether his method of what handle conflict is right or not, at the end of the day, he's human. Well, the fact that people are there criticizing him that, oh, what he did is wrong, what he did is wrong. Nigga is human, bro. Just because he's what, yeah, he's famous on YouTube does not mean that his life is perfect. His life is not perfect. And that goes for everyone out there. Just because sometimes you find your favorite was celebrity, actor, musician, rapper, or this politician in a scandal, you are baffled because the image they have presented to you have formed a, a mental image to you that you believe that they cannot commit those atrocities. But at the end of the day, they're human, they'll commit mistakes. So the fact that some of you are taking this thing so fucking welcome and say, oh, Abba can do this. And some of you are very concerned that because they're making fun of us for of faith. And he is certainly he have done this, that's what some of you are complaining. But at the end of the day, man, them is human. You don't commit mistakes.
Now type in the word blocking, which is different from blocked, but I still have a bunch of where he's like, I'm blocking you here. And I put blocking here because I didn't block him here. I was telling him like, hey, you keep blocking. And
But I don't want to
yeah,
speak to you no
so now
more.
I'm blocked and I'm upset. I am 9 weeks pregnant. I'm feeling emotional. I'm hormonal, all these
Of
changes.
course.
And I don't want to blame it on that specifically because I knew that I was also exhausted from the dynamic of Abba and I. And so this is a blemish on my part in all of this. But I pretend to send a screenshot of Abba's message saying that he doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. I pretend to send it to Myron Gaines. And I never do it, and I never did do it, but that was just to like, I was fighting back a little bit. But again, I never did it. And
You never did it. So your first point of action, Abba, from what you are saying, Abba way of handle conflict is what avoidance. He disconnect with you. He's blocking you from whatever you're claiming. Now your own was that you took a screenshot of your what your image. You send it to what Marion. Yes, Abba's YouTube enemy. Other at messages on YouTube. For what? To show him what's happening. This is although you said that you never did it. This goes to show that if things doesn't go your way, you resort to anything for it to win. This is you see, there's one thing people have to understand. When you're not getting what you want, and you have to resort to manipulation, you have to resort to what? Pretense. You say you never did it, you, but you just trying to what? Right? To rat him up. But this goes to show that deep down in your character, if if things have gone to the extreme, you don't care. You come out and say it, and right now you are doing the same thing. This is your private life. The fact that you're out here preaching it to all of us, like what do we need to know? Don't give a fuck, bro. It's your life. You are treating it as if Abba is what above committing all this. He's not above any of this thing. He's human. That goes for you too. The fact that you say you are pretending that goes to show us that whatever happened to you it still hits you in the degree you're not to over it. So I have vented. Whether it is for cloud, we don't know. But once again, let us see what you did.
I also messaged the Ab and Preach page. And I tell him this. I'm not going to read it, but I'll leave it up here so you guys can view and pause if you'd like. And
I am pregnant, and despite it being in a relationship or not, you said you not care if I keep the baby or not, and that you wouldn't be part of it. You told me you will never work out on the child if I got pregnant, and you lied. I'll keep the baby and raise them myself, but because I expressed I felt anxious 5 months into the relationship, and I told you my truth because I do not care about your life. Me loving you and me also feeling unsettled can both exist. You say this isn't this isn't horrible behavior towards me. You are saying this behavior is better than the blackmail I didn't even. I'm not going to read this shit. Marriage sucks. I don't want to work on it, but you can see this shit. You see this what's happening. You guys
He
can see
just
it for yourself.
responds, "Hey, blackmailer, stop reaching out." And he gets, Abba gets very upset because now Preach sees these messages and now Preach knows that his girlfriend is pregnant. Now Preach knows Abba's girlfriend is pregnant. And Abba calls me at some point.
You know what? You see this thing. You know what you're doing. You see, like it just goes to show. It just goes to show us that when things are not going your way, you are about to take it to the extreme. You are to make a point that when Abba get upset, he goes beyond the point of what being angry. You too, it's showing us that you want to win, you want to get things your way. You go at the point of what making it known because this is between two of you, and the fact that you allowed your cousin to text in all these things this goes to claim that, and the fact that you are trying to write him back. He told you that you what would be there for you and the child, but he changed his mind. No, who in the right state of mind would he change his mind, bro? Four abortions. You made four abortion appointments. Do you know the emotional toll you're going to put on him? You're going to take on the child. So what? He gave up. And what do you do? As this when you're going on your there, you made a pretense of signing what, as you said, of sending the script information to Myron. And you'll send the this fucking home message to the urban preach page, which is between him and his business partner preach. That goes to show that you don't give a fuck. Things have to be your way or the highway. That's what I tend to preach to us, bro.
And this is just another example of how um, Abba does talk to me when he does get upset. So I don't answer because I'm trying to get something to eat. I'm hungry and I'm like sick. I'm in my first trimester and I don't answer. And he says, "I don't care, bye, blocked. I'm trying to eat. Hey, I was really trying to get something to eat. I haven't eaten." He says, "Parasite, I don't care. Eat, shit, sleep. I want my peace back. I want you gone. So hurry up. You made 9 accounts harassing me and blackmailing." So he's talking about my cousin reaching out and sending him messages. And he
You are showing receipt. You're saying that your cousin was blackmailing him. Let us see the receipt. So you can testify when he was being blackmailed. Come on, let us see those shit, bro.
he calls again and we finally get on a phone call. This is the most brutal phone call. And it does reflect everything that I had mentioned before, that it was verbal and emotionally abusive and contain a lot of dehumanizing language
It
and
goes both
degrading
ways, two of
language.
you.
And I actually have the phone call right here, but I cannot play it because Abba can file legal action against me. And in this phone call, he also says, "I will never meet the baby. I will never look at the baby in the face. I will never know its name. And if I do, I will make sure to tell them that their mother was disgusting and horrible." And he says that he will make sure he's never a part of the baby's life. And I know you can't picture Abba saying this.
No, the fact that you are claiming that we can't picture Abba saying this, what the fuck do you mean? No, isn't Abba a human being? My whole concern is that you are claiming that Abba doesn't want the child. So why the fuck don't you keep the child, bro? The guy doesn't want you no more. He doesn't want the child. So why you want to keep it? Go ahead with the abortion. But you are here making the video telling us about how he worked out with the pregnancy and you. Who goes to show that you had the abortion? So what is the whole point? So you're trying to expose that Abba is not who you say he is? Come on, bro. Nigga is a human being. He has his fault. Just because people are watching him on YouTube doesn't mean that they give a fuck about his life. People care about him, but that is it, bro. Everybody are going through their problems in that shit. This was a problem between two of you, and what you guys were able to solve it, whether you solve it or not, whether you broke up amicably or not. But you decided that no, you don't like it, you brought it to YouTube, and YouTube will analyze it from both ends. From your messages, you can see to YouTube have what you have been manipulative, you have been abusive, both ways. I don't care who it is, but Both of you, you need to get therapy. Therapy need to be, you need to get therapy to work on yourself. Yes, I feel like this thing of what has helped you into the extreme. Because man, them was what he wanted a child. You also wanted a child. You went back and forth before you had your abortion. So he gave up. He was what? What is the word I'm looking for? What he I said he lost his peace. So what do you want to do? He said he doesn't want it no more. He won't see the child. You can't force somebody to do all these things. But either way, this is what's happening.
But he does say it. And after that, I never hear from Abba again. 3 days go by, and I am desperate to talk to him. And I contact Preach through Instagram, and Preach doesn't want anything to do with it, which is understandable. And I just kind of leave it alone after
It's not his
that.
privacy. It's not his fucking
Week
problem.
one goes by, and I don't hear anything from Abba. Week two goes by, I don't hear anything from Abba. And then now we're at week three. And
That's
I know
unfortunate.
that 3 weeks doesn't seem like a long time, but when
It
you're
was 9 weeks
trying
pregnant.
to
Wow.
figure out a situation as critical as this one, and you're so desperate to talk to the father of the baby,
Almost 2 months pregnant.
3 weeks felt like a very long time. And week four comes up, and I now have to make a decision. And I have to make a decision based off what the reality is. The reality is that Abba completely left me for dead. And Abba walked out on the pregnancy, and he is now absent from this entire thing. And he
Okay.
doesn't want anything to do with the baby, and he doesn't want anything to do with me. And I
Okay.
make the hardest decision I ever had to make. And it was a very painful decision, but I end up having the abortion. And
Finally.
I grieved very hard. And I was also grieving the relationship with Abba. I knew that I found all of these incompatibilities, but I did.
You see this shit. All these things. You see, there's something called cause and effect. The butterfly effect. The butterfly effect is that a butterfly in the Amazon, when you flap its wings, it can lead to a thunderstorm in the in London. Right now, the butterfly effect is that you push this man away. You pushed him away, whether you guys were incompatible or not, because he was interested in what in supporting you, whether you wanted to have a child or not. But you can see that he was he was ready to take care of you and the child. But through your numerous indecision, your back and forth, he gave up. He said he don't want to do it no more. Excuse me. He doesn't want anything to do with you, with the baby, whether you keep it or not. So, and the fact that you are saying that you made a painful decision on your life, how you made for appointment for when he said that he wanted what to support you, you said no. I want to get rid of it. You went there, you check it out, you went again, you check it out, you went again, you check it out, bro. So no one will have that kind of patience because the feeling of what about to have a child, you know the joy it brings to both a man and a woman. The feeling that you know that the child that you're about to have, the lady is about to have an abortion. You know how painful it is. The fact that you don't have a child. This back and forth. The fact that from what Abba was saying, but I saw a clip of him saying that from the video when he was addressing this issue was that his doctor said he had low sperm count. So when he's able to have this child with you, then he was happy. So so it just goes to prove that this back and forth just shows him that he doesn't want to do with you. As you said, you find this incompatible. You find that your values didn't align. He found out that he doesn't want to be with you because your mental is stable. You cannot take your decision. Like normally when this thing happened, he gave you reassurance that it's really what to set was it's really what to support you in the baby. Yes, he was ready, but you said no. So you said it was painful. It was not painful because For when I begin watching you, I've seen that you're really want to go all out. I feel like you're using the kid as a leverage, trying to what, try to emotional what, manipulate him. Yes, come on.
Still love him a lot. And I was, yeah, I was feeling very lost and truly some of my darkest days. And I think Abba will never get a hold of me again, and he really doesn't care to reach out, but he does. So a week after the abortion, I hear from him on Instagram. And this is what he says. He says, "For me to plan things, I need clarity on a few things, whether you intend to continue the pregnancy and what level of involvement you foresee from me. I should be clear that I still have no plans to co-parent. I'm not messaging to discuss the relationship or here to argue, just the above." And he is messaging me a lot, and it's because I'm not responding to him. And one thing I realized about Abba is Abba thinks a certain way. Abba also likes things done a certain way. And if things are not followed through in the way that he wants, you will see a reaction from him. And, this is one of those times, like I'm not responding, and he is insulting me, saying I'm doing all these things and I'm not, doing those things. And I'm like, I'm not going to engage with this type of communication. But he does lash out. And I thought about the pregnancy, and I thought, Abba never cared about the child. He only cared about, this dream that he had. But that's not really how it works. We both have this responsibility. And I
Both hard.
didn't do it the way he pictured it. And I can understand that also. But, this is so far removed from what he would support on his channel and promote on his channel. And so I said, I left you alone since I reached out to preach a month ago. And he's saying, like, no, you're like still calling me and I'm still trying to reach him. I said, no, I never called you. I said, I've left you alone since like my last contact with preach. I said, you didn't want anything to do with the baby. I said, okay. I said, I'm not going to engage in this kind of communication, Abba, because he keeps messaging me. And he sends this little okay liar thing. Remember, I said that Abba can act in a way of like mocking and ridicule and a little sometimes immature. But yeah, I said, and that's what you wanted. You didn't want anything to do with the baby.
You know what? Two of you are crazy. You're freaking crazy. This is back and forth. You had an abortion. He's asking you, tell him I had an abortion and you are done. The first message he asks you that, let me know the way forward. Are you keeping the baby or not? So you try to go this back and forth with him. You claim you are still in love. You see, some of you, sometimes you ladies or whoever it is, you have to accept that things won't work out again. You said you are not compatible. Your values do not align. So why are you trying to force it? You already had the abortion. So what? Tell him it is great. Tell him you're having it and you are done with this conversation. But the fact that you're engaging with him, whether he became mocking to you, he used some words. Of course, to, to this day, everybody have a picture. Everybody have a picture of how when they have their wife or even their girlfriend get pregnant, when they really want to settle down, they have a picture in their head. You had your own picture in your head. You thought that what it was going to be roses and sunshine. It didn't work out that way. Dreams shatter. Dream doesn't work that way. It goes both ways. So the fact is that you had the abortion, he's texting you, tell him the baby is gone. There's nothing involved. So why this back and forth? This goes to show you that, as you said, you're still in love with him. Whether this your love was love or whether it was a honey face, mongo bongo, I don't give a fuck, bro. But this goes to show that both of you, you were what leading this thing on. He asked you, are you keeping it or not? You said no. You said you had abortion already, so why are you engaging with him? Let him go, but you're still here. So manipulation.
And to this day, Abba feels extremely justified with leaving the pregnancy. This is one of our last messages. This was about a month ago, and there was a little tension in this conversation, and we were going back and forth a bit. And I said, "You still haven't apologized for abandoning me and our baby." I only apologized. And he said, "It's still because it's your fault. You cut me out of the relationship and the fatherhood." I'm saying, "I have to go now, okay?" And he said, "I have always believed that it was your fault." I said it was a response.
You see, whether you're putting blame on your fault for what me I'm saying, you can say I'm being biased or what. For your video, it's like you pushed him away. You this back and forth. You made him. He made a choice that doesn't want to do with you again. At the end of the day, it didn't work out. You guys move on. The fact that you are on YouTube posting this shit, there's no sympathy here. What I'm saying is that what you pushed him away, and you realize that you guys need to work out. So at the end of the day, why is it back and forth? Let's make this thing straight. This goes out there. If you get pregnant by a man and you feel like you can use the baby as leverage, you guys need to understand some people are there. After he was someone patient with you, four pregnancy appointments. Come on, two. I'm down, bro. Two, take it out or whatever you do. Like what do you mean? It is your body, your choice. It's also the man's what right to keep his peace. What is this back and forth emotional roller coaster? Nobody have time for that. So this goes out. I'm going to tell you guys out there. You have, if you don't want the baby, take it out. Some of you ladies are there. Is that you love the word tested. Does this guy actually care for me? Does he care for the baby? So you're trying to. Some of you just try to bring the idea of abortion and see how you react. And let me tell you, some men out there. You bring the idea, they look at you. Do it. You will not say you don't see emotion. Do it. What should they tell you? Oh no. Some of you, it's like you love the power dynamic. You want to feel like anything in control, but you don't. The person are willing to let you out. They are willing to give you any control. They say, do it. Do it. He he came to support you. Probably about someone else will not even be there. Will not fucking come there, bro. Because they know it's not easy for that process. But someone will not really come there. They will not really come there, bro. Do it. It's your choice. Why should I come there? You are carrying my child, so why should I come to support you? And some people, when you decide to have the abortion, the whole notion of what the relationship is over. You understand? So just go to show, let it go, let it die out. But for you, of course, right now it is dead and gone. By the fact that you are making this video, this is private stuff, bro. Whether it is for cloud, whether it's for what, I don't understand. By the end of the day, this goes to show that if you are dating someone, make sure it's the right person. And if you are not sure, please fucking use a condom. You're just saying blanks. That's not how this works. Or you get this situation. I'm telling you, bruv. Either way, peace out. Let me see you guys in the comment section. Tell me your thoughts and comments.